The oil companies didn't leave Norway because the oil's there. The coal companies aren't going to leave Australia because the coal's where? It's here. So I can charge you what I want because it's my coal.
Well, you could.
I was with the top tax brass nerds you've ever. I've seen the names on papers I've read and talked about on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I know that bloke. There he is, right there. And I actually went around and spoke to them. And I asked them 2 questions. Question number 1, who's Australia's biggest tax bludger? Who is Australia's biggest tax bludgers?
Let's go to question number 2 first.
Those who are living off accumulated wealth.
Wealthy punts.
I think the biggest tax bludger is the family home.
Whoa!
0.001%. So just the rich.
Wealthy homeowners.
And then the next question I asked was, who's doing the heavy lifting? Who is doing the heavy lifting in society right now, carrying the team?
The 30 to 45-year-olds who are working for
I'm
wages.
sick
and
of
paying
hearing
all the
that
income
today.
tax.
That one's easy. Young workers.
Me.
You're a worker. Good.
Especially, I think, workers looking after kids because of the cost of those care for those kids.
Yeah.
Working people who work as an employee and who
Wage
have
slaves.
Wage slaves who have a tertiary education.
Experts on either side have said young people are the ones who are actually paying the most tax.
Us. You, me, Gen Z, everyone except the minerals lobbyist. Funny little story. I walked over to the gas lobbyist, talking to the mining lobbyist. They're obviously being like, hey, how awesome's our life? Yeah, I love you too. I don't know what they were talking about. And as soon as I got there, I said, hey, could you answer just a couple questions? Here's the 2 questions.
Yep.
Gas lobbyist
Out of there.
runs.
But what, not the oil
Mining.
and gas guy, the mining guy was there happy
Which is
to,
like-
happy to chat.
Iron or he was happy to chat.
Coal.
We got into a little bit of an argument. He
Oh,
didn't
really?
like me. And it led to an interesting exchange that went something like this. Who is Australia's biggest tax bludger?
Well, it's clearly not the mining industry because we pay 30% of all the tax collected in Australia.
Is it,
And we paid $400 billion worth of tax in the last 10 years.
and as a
And you wanted
percentage?
to know that.
And as a percentage?
We pay 30% of all the company tax collected.
How much does Santos pay?
Santos is not in the mining
What
industry.
about Inpex?
They're not in the mining industry.
Well, they're
So you
drilling.
need to know what you're talking about.
They're drilling.
They're not in the mining industry. Mining is hard rock mining.
Okay.
Mining is BHP, Rio
Yeah.
Tinto,
Yeah,
Glencore,
good. Yeah, yeah.
Whitehaven.
Yeah, good.
All the companies that pay tax.
Yancoal?
You should start. Yancoal pay tax.
I can show you a few years where they pay 0, mate.
Yeah, because they made losses in those years because the coal price went down.
Yeah.
You got to realise you only pay tax if you make a profit.
Well, so
you
here's
gotta
the
work that
question.
out.
So
It's
no,
pretty
no.
basic stuff, you know.
No,
It
that's
would help a
good.
lot if you understood it.
Why should I subsidise an industry that isn't profitable?
You're not subsidising an industry.
Okay, so then if you
Who are you
use
subsidising?
if you use
Who are
land,
you subsidising?
whose roads are being used? Whose taxes? Whose courts? Whose lawyers? Whose infrastructure? Whose
And guess
legal
who pays,
system?
And guess who pays for it? The mining industry.
Sometimes,
Because
sometimes,
we pay 30% of all the tax collected.
sometimes.
No, no.
BHP, good on you. Rio
No, no,
Tinto,
no,
good on you.
No.
I'm not anti-mining.
No.
I'm pro paying what you owe.
And
So
that's
what's
what
your
mining does.
what's your New
That's
South
what-
Wales coal royalty?
What is it
Yeah.
in terms of totality or what?
No, like what do you pay on a coal royalty?
In New South Wales, depends if it's underground or open
Yeah.
pit, but it's about
Yeah.
9%.
Does that sound good?
Well, that's only the royalty. That's not the
No,
company
no,
tax.
no, that's fine. But royalty, does that sound good? 9%?
Yeah,
You reckon that's fair?
yeah. That's 9% without any profit. That's just 9% of every
Yeah.
dollar.
Well, of course, because it's my coal.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah,
you're getting
yeah,
9%. So
I-
you've taken no risk whatsoever. You haven't built the mine. You
That's
haven't built
fine.
the
I can do
infrastructure.
that.
Well, take no risk.
Why can't I can do that?
Well, you can. How could you do that?
So why if I
How
can,
could you organise the capital investment, take the risk, right?
Yeah.
And then you're not talking profit here. You're talking
Yeah.
about revenue, right? Revenue.
yeah,
is
but
not profit.
why should I care if you get a profit or not?
Well, because it attracts more investment if you get a profit.
Why should I care about
Jobs.
investment?
Because you want jobs, you want schools, you want hospitals, you want teachers, you want.
But only if they pay.
Well, they do.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
sometimes.
No.
But a 9% royalty is pretty low.
Not at all. 1% royalty is very high, but international
Of course
standards.
you say that because you want the inputs for cheap. Whereas,
no,
where
I
else
say,
would
I
you
say
go?
that because it's a fact.
Where else
I
would you
say
go?
that because it's a fact.
Where else would you go? We have coal. We have a stable legal system. We have a stable society.
Yeah, but
If I said
the
I
biggest
want a
coal
15%,
the biggest coal producer.
if I said I
the
want,
biggest coal producer in the world is Indonesia.
so you guys kicked up a stink about the Queensland coal royalty scheme.
Because of
Which,
the way it was. Because
it's progressive. It's the most weakest improvement to give us what we're owed for our coal. When you make more money, you pay more in tax. When you get super profits, when commodity prices go up,
was not adjusted.
the bottom end. Well, you got to pay for your inputs. You can't just get it for free. Why should I give it for you for free? If you can't make a profit when I give it to you for free, if you can't pay for it, then why should I give it to you? It's just basic free market
dig
economics.
it out of the ground and leave it there.
Why would I dig it out of the ground if I'm not going to get any benefit from it? If I'm not going to get money? Why should I let you dig it?
You've got to fulfill.
No, I don't.
You won't have a customer if you don't.
Why would?
Deliver.
But why do I
That's
want
what
a
you need a
customer?
Well, mainly because you've got to have a business. If you don't have a customer, you don't have a business. You got any customers?
What's the
Who
point
pays-
of a
who pays for
business?
you? Who
What's
pays
the
for you?
point of a
Who pays
business?
for what you do?
What's the
Who
point of a
pays for what you
business?
do?
What?
Who pays for
Well,
what
people
you do?
give me money.
Exactly. You've got
So
customers.
what-
So if you don't have a customer, you don't have a business.
That's
And
all
you need a
right.
customer,
Yeah.
Right?
But
and you're only going to have a customer if you meet the demands under a contract. If the contract says you've got to deliver coal, even if the price has gone down, you deliver the coal.
If the contract's shit for the everyday Aussie punter, why should we keep delivering on that? If the rules were rigged to
So you're gonna own the coal,
disadvantage,
though. You're gonna
I own the coal. It's my coal.
No, you're going to.
It's my coal. And
You
if
haven't
I want to
taken the
charge,
risk.
if I want to charge 15%,
you want to own the coal like Russia owns the coal. So you want to have a
Norway owns the oil.
Country. You want a communist country.
That's not communism. It's capitalism.
No.
It's my coal. I want my dividend. I want my dividend.
You say Russia's a capitalist.
Norway's not a communist country. They get a 78% royalty on their oil. It's quite high. Did they leave? No. If I charge you 15%, are you going to leave? No.
Oil's not what we do. We're not talking about oil.
Where else are you going to get the coal? Where else are you going to get the coal?
We're talking about oil.
That's
We're talking
mining. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the oil companies didn't leave Norway because the oil's there. The coal companies aren't going to leave Australia because the coal's where? It's here. So I can charge you what I want because it's my coal.
Well, you could, but you won't get any new investment.
Well, then we can start government half invested, half just a Norwegian model.
So you're going to go in terms of government.
That's capitalism.
Government take the risk. So
I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk.
Really?
Yes, I'll take the risk.
The government's got enough knowledge of the business to be able to take.
Norway has a $3 trillion sovereign wealth fund, a $1.7 trillion sovereign wealth fund.
Yeah,
right?
on oil and gas.
Instead,
on oil and gas, they don't have one on mining.
What's the difference? It's a commodity.
No,
it's a commodity that gets pulled out of the ground. One's runny, one's hard.
That's a big
difference.
on.
Who owns the oil?
Who owns the oil? I don't know. Who owns the oil?
Well, the country it's in. Who owns the coal? I do. Who owns the diamonds? I do. Who owns the iron ore? I do.
You own the coal under the ground, right?
Yeah.
Who's taking the risk to dig it out and ship it?
Well, the risk is, do I get any benefit from giving you a sweetheart deal? If the answer is yes, I'll give you that sweetheart deal. 9% is a sweetheart deal.
No, it isn't.
Of course you say that.
Well, because
how much profit?
Internationally,
how much profit?
Internationally, we have to benchmark. We've got to attract capital. 9% is not a sweetheart deal. 9% is the higher rate, a higher end of the rates.
If it doesn't cover the costs of the land cleanup, the management, the environmental damage, if mining doesn't cause damage?
No. The government doesn't pay for all that cleanup.
No.
The companies do.
No, there are numerous cases across New South Wales. There are abandoned mines across New South Wales that me, as a New South Wales taxpayer, am paying to clean up.
Garbage. There are.
I'll give you the citations. They'll be on screen.
Yeah, please do, because that's garbage. They'll be old, really old from the olden days.
So you're old mines like that have left behind that everyone
100 years ago.
No, recent.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me one.
Yeah. I don't know the names of them, but I can
make a few up.
I'll give you the link.
Yeah.
I won't make up stuff.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But at the end of the day, if I own the resources, I can sell it to you at what I want. And if you think it's too high, I can sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
But it's a trade-off. It's a balance, right? You're trying to get it so that you have an industry that's viable. And because if it's not mined, you'll get nothing. Right? You need to get.
But if I'm getting less than nothing for some commodities and for some things, like you've said, I already gave crops to BHP. They pay tax. Rio Tinto, they pay tax. They're not the bludgers.
Well, we pay 30% of all the company tax collected.
Yeah, good on you, as you should. That's great.
No, not we should. That's what we
Hang
do.
on, whoa. Hang on. You think you shouldn't pay 30% tax?
No. I'm saying it's not. The issue is not as we should. It is we do it. That's the fact.
You don't think you should?
No, I didn't say that. I said
you did.
I did not. I said it's not as we should. It is the fact we pay it, right? And
what do you mean it's not as we should? You don't think a mining company that operates out of Australia should pay tax?
I didn't say that. We paid $400 billion in royalties and company tax.
Don't combine them. Don't combine them. Royalties are separate to taxes. Royalties is what you owe me for taking my resources.
Yeah.
Taxes are what you owe for operating in Australia and using our infrastructure.
Yeah, but that's the total.
That's good.
That's the total contribution, right?
That's
$400 billion.
That's great.
No one else is doing that.
What do you mean no one else is doing that? So you think if private corporations,
no other industries are paying that level.
Oh, CommBank's doing well,
but they pay less tax than BHP and Rio.
They still pay a lot of tax. When you guys lobby against governments and try and topple governments like Queensland, like you tried with I could show you an ad that deliberately misrepresented royalties and taxes and had a big cry about the increase of, it's a progressive royalty. So when you guys make more money, the Australian government makes more money, which is pretty fair.
Queensland government makes more money.
Queensland government makes more money, which is pretty fair. You guys with every tooth and nail fought against that. Did you not?
We were arguing about the entire scale.
So that left us, that was an interesting dynamic where he can't admit that paying tax is a good thing. Weirdly, I didn't realize that was part of their policy platform.